What's up, Jabroni? Steven here, and welcome back to yet another reaction. Today we're hopping into a pilot program show titled Pushing Daisies. I know nothing about this show. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's good. It was a pilot program show that was selected by a Patreon supporter. If you didn't know, on Patreon I have a tier where essentially you get me to react to any pilot that you want. Essentially that's it. You pick the pilot, I'll watch it. And it'll go up at one of my tiers. It'll go into that category. But you get to get me to watch any show you want. We're also, just so you guys know, I'm gonna be introducing a thing where on a weekly basis, we're gonna have the pilot program shows people select. But I'm also going to try to introduce kind of like a voting thing. If I don't have like any pilots to record, throw that in there. See what pilots people want to watch. Yeah, I don't know anything about the show. I have no idea. Hopefully it's a fun episode. Hopefully it's good. If you want the full uncut, unedited reaction, over on Patreon, every pilot program that I do, you can get fully uncut, unedited way before they go over to YouTube. Way before. Essentially, some pilot program shows that are over there. Sense8 is over there. Teen Wolf, Smallville. I mean, every pilot program show that I do is over there. There's probably like 20 of them, probably. 100. On the Earp, Charmed. I mean, all these pilots. Some of them have made it over to YouTube, but just know that a lot of them didn't come over here to YouTube, and any other ones that people have recommended are over there as well. Dr. Horrible's over there. I mean, a bunch of stuff. So head over there, check it out if you're interested. If not, don't worry. You'll get the pilot program shows when they come here.
The town of Coeur de Coeur, young Ned was 9 years, 27 weeks, 6 days, and 3 minutes old.
That looks like straight green screen. What the fuck is this? What the hell? Yeah, I was told this show's whimsical, so I'm guessing that means funny.
This was the moment young Ned realized he wasn't like the other children. Young Ned was in love. Her name was Chuck. At this very moment, she was 8 years, Chuck. 42 weeks, 3 hours, and 2 minutes old. Conquered the world. Mother's brain burst, killing her instantly.
Must have slipped. Clumsy. Did the timer go off?
A gift that not only gave, it took.
Oh, shit.
Young Ned discovered he could only bring the dead back to life for 1 minute without consequence. There was one more thing about touching dead things that young Ned didn't know, and he learned it in the most unfortunate way.
What the fuck? Once.
First touch, life. Second touch, dead again, forever.
Does the dad come back?
He maketh me to lie down.
What kind of bullshit rule is this?
And
Synchronized swimming duo.
After his mother's death, Ned avoided social attachments, fearing what he'd do if someone else he loved died.
Every day I come in, I eat pie, I concentrate all my love on that pie. It's my love that someone else is going to love.
Something.
And you know what? By the end of the day, I sold more of those pies
from Human Target.
Investigator, Mr. Card met the pie maker when his pie hole was on the verge of financial ruin. Mr. Card proposed a partnership.
Oh, he has 1 minute to ask him everything, if not. Somebody else dies.
Hello, hi. Sorry to disturb you, Mr.
Oh my God.
Leonard. Do you prefer...
Leo!
Your dog. Do you touch anything?
Oh,
Of course, I touch lots of things.
With affection.
Still withheld, very little is known of the victim, who was reportedly traveling alone when murdered
Look how
aboard
he
a
pets the
passenger
dog.
ship that was returning from a tropical cruise sailing between the United States and Tahiti.
Oh, this is
This dead girl from Court to Court.
Is this the little girl?
Charlotte Charles.
Oh, Charlotte. That's how you get the Chuck. Okay.
Chuck.
Sense.
I haven't thought of her since I was 10.
Think of her a lot when you were 10?
Don't remember anything when I was 10.
The lips too forward. The cheek. The cheek.
Oh, what the fuck?
Do you know what's happening right now?
I had the strangest dream. I was being strangled to death with a plastic sack.
You were strangled to death with a plastic sack. That's probably an odd thing to hear, but I wasn't quite sure how to sugarcoat it.
Chuck was strangled to death
Oh,
with a plastic
man.
sack.
That is awful.
And then you touched my cheek.
What's going on?
Just a second.
The pie maker's lips went
He's
as
very
far as they
acceptable.
would go. He couldn't will them to go any further. Sequence.
Oh, no.
The
He
funeral
sucks.
director would go no further.
On the toilet, though? Oh, on the... Wait, what?
Can you lie really still until I get back?
Mm-hmm.
He's just accepting it all. Like, okay. What happened here? Oh no, is she gonna be buried alive?
Wanted more. But at Boutique Travel Boutique, she got more than she bargained for.
Hey, I think somebody's truck's on fire.
Oh,
Are used to this sort of thing. Issues of morality. How come she's not dead anymore? It'd be a disaster.
Well, I suppose dying's as good an excuse as any to start living.
The best option for her would be to like move very far away. Because accidental touching, if we live together,
This
is
is
very
Digby.
possible.
Wasn't your old dog named Digby?
I wouldn't have known you had died if it weren't for the reward.
When were you going to tell me?
In the morning, or when it came up, whichever didn't come first.
$50,000? That makes a lot of pie.
25,000. I have a business partner.
It's bad.
I'm a friend of Ned's.
Does he touch you?
A business partner?
Yes, ma'am.
Found her upstairs. Doesn't she look a lot like that dead girl?
She looks exactly like that dead girl.
Take that as a compliment. She was pretty.
Pie time. This is pushing you a lot.
Yeah, well, luck pushed me first.
My fault, too.
Well, who died instead?
It's a random proximity thing.
Bitch, I was in proximity.
I wasn't thinking.
I wonder what happened to him.
He was a very, very
He
bad
said,
man.
bitch,
He
I was
stole
in
stuff off
proximity.
dead people and
He
sold
could
it
have
on the
died.
internet.
Catch a killer before a killer caught her. The
Oh,
reward
shit.
fell short of achieving its
Well.
desired goal.
Oh.
Serial killer.
I guess I
who
can't
kills
be
with
too mad at her.
pink paper
That how they
bags.
found me? It's humiliating.
Wonder how long she's been here.
Touch the poor bitch and ask her.
He said, touch the
I'm
poor
sort of
bitch.
embarrassed to do it in
Is
front of you.
bitch his word?
You get murdered on a boat, where do they send your things?
Your next of kin.
Your aunts are going to be murdered next. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is bad.
Give her a hug.
This show
That was
is...
for me. Specifically a stainless
Show
steel
reminds me
brick.
of the Netflix show with Neil Patrick
Chuck
Harris.
couldn't remember why she
What's
was
it
so
called?
desperate to leave this life behind.
Unfortunate Events or
She
something?
missed her aunts. She
Feels
missed her
like that
bees.
kind of vibe.
She missed everything she was.
Oh, fuck. Gotta help her out, right? Oh my god, did your aunt just die? Hey, oh.
Didn't I kill you? I can hold my breath for a long time.
Oh, shit.
The jig appeared to be up. Aunt Lily was looking directly at her niece who wasn't supposed to be alive. And if she possessed two good eyes,
she
would have seen her.
I was being selfish. I'd love to tell myself I was being unselfish, but I know deep down in my primal sweet spot, I was being unselfish for selfish reasons.
I was being selfish.
I just thought my world would be a better place if you were in it.
Oh, damn. A great line.
Is there anything else I should know?
Not. Appreciate her
The
being so
Pie-maker
close to
wanted
him.
to tell Chuck about that fateful afternoon when he inadvertently killed her father.
He kind of looks like Zoe Deschanel.
These are heavy.
Cocaine. Well, that seems like a...
The monkey's value was significantly more than sentimental. He reached around his back and held his own hand, pretending he was holding hers. And at that very moment, she was pretending to be holding his.
The dead guy is gonna die now? Cool. Alright, well, that was episode number 1. It was the pilot for Pushing Daisies. Holy hell, that was a really good pilot, right? Like, that was a fun-ass episode. I'm trying to think. That might be the best pilot of any show that I've watched on, of the shows that I watch for this channel. I'm trying to think. But it was funny. It was clever. It was interesting. I mean, the crime aspect of it, I'm leaning towards like a 9 or a 10, honestly. The only thing that I more just that made me angry is that they're always so close to each other. He can kill her at any moment. But I enjoyed it. I don't know what time period we're supposed to be in, because there's modern cars, modern things, but also mixed in with not modern stuff. So I don't exactly know what year we're in. Like I said, it feels a lot like a series of unfortunate events, like that weird like the way the dialogue is. But let's go through the episode real quick. So the episode starts off with essentially what appears to be a CGI, or a green screen. Are these daisies? Maybe these are daisies. But this kid's playing, and all of a sudden his dog runs in the street and gets hit by a car, and then we get some comedy style spinning, and the dog is dead, and then he touches the dog, and the dog comes back to life. I don't know why it's called Pushing Daisies though. I mean, if her name was Daisy, then it would make sense, but her name isn't Daisy. I don't know. This is when the kid realizes he has a power, which this is when I was like, wait, what? This is what the show is about? Kid that can essentially bring things back to life. Meet the girl next door, aka Chuck, Charlotte. And then we see his mom had an aneurysm and died instantly. So as you can see, like, look at the way that they're dressed, the pattern. A lot of things make it seem like this is a 1950s kind of decade. But then you see his clothes, and you're like, well, no, because then his clothes are not 19. Then the house paint, like, it's just an interesting. I don't know what episode it is. Essentially, he touches his mom. His mom comes back to life. Charlotte's father dies because they give like a minute timetable where if you go a minute, somebody has to die. But then the catch is, if the person touches you again, then you automatically die forever this time. We have a cool setup, nice little imagery stuff. The narration worked. I don't know who does the narration. I have here. Well, somebody's narrating. They have their first kiss. She goes with her aunt, and he becomes the pie maker. Probably because it's obviously because something his mom made pies, and he feels some attachment in, and he has social anxiety, and he doesn't really talk to anybody. We meet Christine Chenoweth. Her name. Christine Chenoweth, who I know from like some shows, but also she I know her from Wicked. She was in the musical Wicked. We meet the Emerson Codd, who is Chai McBride. He's essentially a detective chasing a perk. The perk falls, and he witnesses the pie guy, Ned, essentially bring the guy back to life and then kill him. So then he's like, "Oh, we could use this." They form a partnership, and it's actually a really smart partnership. I mean, think about it. Like, what did the narrator say here? Better to solve a crime than the person that got killed. Say who did it. The first crime is something about a Rottweiler, where the Rottweiler about a dog bite. There's a reward. They keep the reward. We have Kristen Chenoweth's character, who seriously just wants to bang the hell out of Ned, but Ned is so socially awkward. When we get the case about this missing girl on the ship, or not missing, this girl that died on the ship, he feels like he somehow is glued to it, but doesn't know why. Then we establish later who the girl is. Turns out it was somebody from his childhood. It was Chuck, the girl next door. We go to wake her up, and essentially when we go to wake her up, it becomes this whole situation where she's very likable. The actress that plays her is very likable. Great little banter. She's very accepting. Everybody, when they wake up, is kind of just very accepting of what's happening. A lot of them, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of them must think it's like heaven or hell. They have a great dialogue. He's telling her who killed you. She doesn't know. When he's about to send her back, he can't do it, and he takes too long, and the funeral director, who was an asshole, dies. I like that they establish he's an asshole because he was stealing from the dead and all that stuff. They do establish that. Kind of make us not feel so bad about him dying. I like it later when what's the guy name? The Emerson figures out. Like, he's like, "Bitch, I was in the vicinity." Like, essentially, he could have killed him. We get to know about her a little bit. She's kind of very quirky. She reminds me of Zooey Deschanel a lot. And from New Girl, just the way she looks, and also like she kind of acts, I guess. Let's see. He saves her. He tells her that he has to come. He doesn't want. He doesn't. Since it's already over, somebody died. He doesn't have to kill her. Send her back. So he brings her back to where his place. They have a conversation about he can't touch you. All this stuff becomes a nice little interesting, cute little banter. But my thing is, man, she should just go far, far away. I'm talking like other side of the country and live over there, because man, the entire episode is done this close to each other. One accidental touch and death. So, that's not smart. She watches the news about her death. She is known as the tourist girl who died. She doesn't like it. She wants to solve her own crime. She asks him questions about the reward, how that works, if he gets the reward. If you think about it, it's kind of fucked up what they do. He essentially wakes the person up from the dead, figures out who kills them, sends them back, collects the money. Kind of a fucked up system, but hey, at least they get closure to the people that died. He tells her to stay inside. She doesn't listen. It just becomes like this very awkward. She just walks out here. This is when Emerson figures out, like, oh, bitch. Great little back and forth. Literally every single person in this episode had great dialogue, great timing, great chemistry together. Even this person, the person that they bring back here, that was a really, really great interaction. And I like when he was about to essentially because about the lady that they brought back here was gonna tell them who did it, but she's like, boop, and the Emerson's like, you couldn't just take a few steps back. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. He should not be anywhere near anybody he brought back to life. He should be so far back every time. Like, there should be no reason to be this close. We find out that the monkeys are at the aunt because they get to keep whatever the hell Chuck had on her. Great random shit here where he wants to hug her, but he can't, so Emerson has to hug her, and it's like, what did he say here? That's for me. Like, it's so stupid. But I was engaged the entire episode. I found it funny, charming, interested in why she was murdered. I mean, the reason why she was murdered, we find out, it's the monkeys gold, but I was intrigued by the entire thing. We have interaction with the aunts who are very weird, and I know her from something. What's her? Susie Kurtz. I've seen her in other shows. All right.
I can't imagine she
There you go. Narrator, Jim Deo.
had a good last meal.
Talk about the meals. She goes in, she tries to take the monkeys. While she's doing that, somebody essentially is trying to murder. There's a murder the aunt here. I was kind of shocked about it. I was like, wait, are they actually gonna murder the aunt? That's crazy. She walks right out, and this person has a thing about plastic pink bags with smiley faces on it. So essentially, Ned comes up to see what's taking her so long, or to help her get out of an awkward situation where he touched the other aunt by accident, like not by accident, to comfort her. She didn't appreciate it. It becomes like a fight thing. The killer's like, "Didn't I kill you?" And I like this whole interaction because he's like, "Didn't I kill you?" But he's talking to her, but the person that answers is the aunt, because the aunt doesn't see her because of the eye patch thing. And then it's like a cool little thing. And then she shotguns.
The jig appeared to be up.
The fuck, right?
Aunt Lily was looking directly at her niece. Her niece.
See when she shoots him. What did she say? He says, "Didn't I kill you?"
Didn't I kill you?
And she answers.
I can hold my breath for
So she thinks he's talking to her.
a
And then
long
look at this fucking shotgun shot. It's so over the top, so quirky, so stupid, but I loved it because it fits the tone of the show, the episode at least. What was the person that got shot's name? Shiny Shoes Killer. And I like the whole thing where she can't see because of her eye patch, kind of establishing what the reason for that. There's a weird shot here with Christine Chenoweth, which I didn't understand here. What's her name? Character's name? Olive. She was kind of making like a weird face when she was looking at this. As you can see here, we don't what decade is like look at this. What year is this? Look at the TV. So weird. Look at the TV. Look at the clothes. Then there's like modern cars outside. It's just, what fucking decade are we in? Which I mean, again, it could be looked at as a negative, but I think it's just part of the show's weirdness and charm, or at least of the episode. Again, they're talking here. They got the monkeys. They each want to keep one. Space. Literally an accidental turn to the side and touch, and it's game over. She's dead. We should not be this close. We should be minimum 10 feet apart. We should be talking while like far away. Doesn't make any sense. Then what they do here is just a very pissing me off situation. They do this slow motion, like of breaking the thing, but literally any moment, one of your accidental fingers could have touched her. Like, what the fuck? Stay away from her. You figure out. Oh no, we don't figure out. They wake up the guy. With some more banter. They wake up the guy to see what happened, like who killed or whatever, and ultimately, we don't. It ends on that cliffhanger, but there's this weird moment about at that very moment, he holds his own hand, pretends it's hers, and she's doing the exact same thing. Just weird, but funny. Yeah, I love this. I love this episode, man. It I don't know, established all the characters well. It intrigued me. I like the quirky weirdness. I'm not gonna lie. I went into this episode thinking I was not gonna really enjoy this show that much. Kind of because I didn't know what it was about. I thought it was just like a quirky, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know it was gonna be like a crime show. Essentially, it's kind of like a procedural, or at least it could turn into that, while also solving an overarching arc about her death. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it worked. It was fun, funny, interesting. Which is why I want to give it like a 9 or a 10. And I'm thinking of all the pilots that I've done on the channel, right? All the pilots. The pilots that I've enjoyed the most, I don't think, might be my favorite pilot. I didn't love Dexter right away. A lot of the shows that I started watching, I didn't love right away. Mostly all of them I didn't love right away. This is probably the first one where I'm like, man, that's like something I would like I'm so invested in from the get-go. I can't think of another show that I'm currently watching that I was invested in from the get-go. Actually, no. You know what show I was invested in from the get-go, from the very first episode? Cobra Kai. Of all the pilots I've watched on my YouTube, the YouTube channel, that's probably the one show that I was fully invested in from the get-go. Actually, I mean, some of the anime as well. A couple of the animes as well, like Akame ga Kill, I was invested from the get-go. ReZero, it took me a while. Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia. Those I got invested from the get-go, but everything else, it kind of took a while to build. And actually Supernatural is another one where out the get-go I was really intrigued by. Pilot of Supernatural. Those are probably the most engaged pilots I was into. And for me, this was like up there. Thumbs up on that, man. But yeah, that's my reaction. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Head over to Patreon for the full, uncut, unedited reaction. You can get episodes extra early if you want them. Head over to Patreon. My bad. I keep saying episodes extra early. You can't get episodes extra early of this because this is a pilot reaction, but you can get the full, uncut, unedited reaction, as well as you can get access to all the pilot program shows as well for this. So head over there, check it out, see what you think. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna talk to you guys later.